I'll give a few updates as we begin. As you know, we've had a busy summer preparing for what we think is going to be a very robust fall. We know it will look very, very different, but we're here to support our students. We have a really great plan, and I want to share that most of you will be taking your coursework virtually. Some of you will have opportunities for some face-to-face, but it will be very different in terms of how that will be taught, and the provost can maybe say a bit more about that. So you'll be socially distanced, you will be wearing masks, but for those of you that must have specialized rooms or equipment, we wanted to make those accommodations for you. I will let you know our plan does follow very strictly the plan that and the guidance of the governor, and so CSUB was out in front in making sure this plan was going to be one in which we kept as our first priority your health and safety and also your high quality education. So if you have any questions about that, we have our provost on today, but there's also our COVID website where you can learn more about our plan, and we'll have somebody put that in the chat if any of you would like to get more information on that. I should also say that our plan also included guidance from both the NCAA, public health, and the governor on athletics. As you can see from yesterday, a number of conferences are following the Big West presidents and chancellors, deciding that fall sports not canceled but postponed. And again, that gives us the greatest amount of flexibility. Scholar athletes, coaches, if you're on with us today, you definitely are in my heart. Thank you so much for your maturity and your patience as we see ourselves through this extraordinary time. I also want to let you know that I'm very appreciative. I have received a number of inquiries, thoughts, concerns, and it is related to tuition and mandatory fees. I do understand this is a continuing question, and it is a question of students throughout the California State University, the 23 universities. As I have communicated with you directly, those questions and those thoughts are being sent directly to the chancellor, because indeed any decision about tuition is not one I make or the cabinet makes here. It is made by our system leaders, our board of trustees, which are appointed by our governor. So again, if you have those questions, those again will be forwarded on behalf of CSUB to our chancellor and to our board of trustees. I'm also very excited to share with you that we have a strong enrollment coming into the fall. I heard from our Associate Vice President of Enrollment Management, Dr. Dwayne Cantrell, that as of this afternoon, we're at 11,165 students. So very, very pleased. I'm so glad you are not pushing pause on your higher education and that you're investing yourself to move forward. This is the time to not stop, but to, again, really lean in to make sure you are on track to get your four-year degree. So very happy also with Crystal Montoya. The orientations have been fantastic. I've been very privileged to join you in those orientations. For those of you that are new with us in our CSUB family, our freshmen and our transfer students. And Crystal, thank you. You and your team have done an incredible job on those orientations. They're very engaged and also very organized. I'm very excited about the year that we have in front of us. The cabinet has just completed a very productive retreat. Our focus was on our continuing work on diversity and social justice. And indeed, we'll be sharing with you in our opening addresses for the new year, new ideas that have come forward from students that we will be moving forward into plans of action. And you will be hearing first and foremost about the wisdom of students to move forward to collaboratively and collectively develop a university diversity plan. And so you'll be hearing more about that. This will be a collective work and one in which we'll begin here in the fall, but it will take the entirety of the year to think about our goals and also to think about those actions that we want to move forward on. I think this really aligns well also with our graduation initiative. As many of you know, Graduation Initiative 2025, we are making good progress in improving our graduation rates for our diverse students and in closing our equity gaps. So very pleased that we'll be putting under the umbrella of our university strategic plan a diversity strategic plan. And I look forward to sharing more about that work that we'll do together in the new year. I'm very excited that our faculty and staff will be coming back on the 18th. And we have an amazing day. It's called University Day, where our faculty and staff will receive professional develop around a central theme. And our theme this year is Runners United for Change. We have a fantastic keynote speaker from the University of Southern California, Dr. Sean Harper. He is a researcher and also a leader in race and equity. And he'll be giving us his newest knowledge about the research on best practices for how we move forward as a university to address race and equity issues. With that, I also want to just share with you how exciting it is that we will be celebrating our 50th anniversary come October. So you'll be seeing a lot of interesting and exciting programming related to our 50th anniversary, and I look forward to celebrating that with all of you. Let me open up the floor to your questions, thoughts, and concerns. And as always, students, this is your time. So it is imperative and important to me that you have the first shot at questions, thoughts, and concerns. And I thank again Faust for helping me in that facilitation.
So please, if you have any questions, please just go ahead and type your name in the chat and or raise your hand using the participants window.
Thank you to Faust for putting up our COVID website. And Faust, do we have any questions?
We do. Uchechi, I am going to unmute you, and there is a question.
Happy to hear your question.
I have a question from actually someone who couldn't be here, and he wanted to find out what would we do if we have a lab in person and then a lecture for the class immediately following that. But that means they have 15 minutes to get off campus and go home. Are they able to kind of stay somewhere on campus to do the lecture before going home, or what's the procedure for that?
Great question. And I know our Chief Information Officer has really been working hard with our team to make sure we have maximized our connectivity. Faust, would you like to talk about the availability of that on our campus and other places?
Absolutely. So we have done some surveys and studies to take a look at the Wi-Fi that we have available within some of our parking lot areas. And so we put that information up on the IT website on the continuity page, which I will post a link to so that you have that directly, and it lists exactly where we have great coverage so that you can essentially try to facilitate that small time period.
Okay. And also while I'm here, I do have a second question. That way we can
please move forward.
Others. He also wanted to find out what about the health fees? How are they able to opt out of that if they have their own health insurance?
Yeah, you're not able to opt out of health fees. That has to do with our student health services, and so those are mandatory fees, and it is important for us to continue to provide services. It's not just physical services, it's also our mental health services, and particularly at times like this, we want to give our students that access for counselors. And so, again, it's a very reasonable fee, but we do understand how important it is to have that available for every single student.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the good questions. What other questions might you have?
There's a question from Mariah. Let me unmute her.
Mariah, hello. I'd love to hear your question.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask if classes will be in person again for the spring 2020 semester.
Gosh, I wish I could be your mind reader. And I can tell you that our cabinet retreat, our retreat facilitator was asking about wishes. And I think every single one of the cabinet were wishing that we will have a vaccine and we'll all soon have the ability to have what will look like a new face to face. We're going to have to remain cautiously optimistic, really not being able to read how the virus will be both in the fall, but also as we enter after the winter holidays. But again, we're trying to be very optimistic. We're ready to pivot on a dime when we get clearance from the governor and our public health administrators here in Kern County to do just that. So know that behind the scenes, your university wants to do that. It just just as much as you do, and right alongside of you. And so, the minute that we have the ability to do that, we'll be ready and we'll be prepared to go back to what will look like a new normal. I think we're learning a lot, but I wish I could give you more of a statement, knowing exactly where we'll be. But we'll have to be cautious as we get into the winter.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mariah.
Zoe has a question.
Hi, Zoe.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Hope you've had a good summer.
I did. Thank you.
Good to see you, and I'm eager to hear about how nursing's going for you. But we'll do that offline.
My question was, what floors of the library would be open during the fall? Because I am an honors student, and
Right.
with that, we have an honors lounge where we have like access to free printing. That's on the second floor. So
Okay. So free printing is going to be an issue. Dean, I'm not sure Dean Asher is on, or any of our librarians. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you to anyone in the library that can help Zoe. Thank you, Dean.
Unfortunately, Zoe, given the direction from the state and whatnot, we are unable to actually open the library we're going to be providing all the services the library provides, but actual physical space is not going to be available this fall. So that's just the unfortunate reality of the times we're living in at the moment. That's all I can tell you. Sorry. All the resources are available. I mean, you do have you're going to have access to the entire book collection and the book collection from the CSU as well. You'll have access to all electronic resources, including our amped up 500,000 volume ebook collection that is now more than what we have in print. We have, and as well as you know, we have a vast database collection. We have videos online. We have a number of other options for you. All of those available. We also have the classes that we always teach, and we have the reference services that we provide. The only thing that's missing, and this has been hard for all of us, is that the actual physical facility will not be open for studying. Just because of the contagious nature of this illness. So that's where we are. So
Thank you so much, Dean Asher. Provost, I think this is a good thing to hear from our students, that as the faculty are getting their professional development, hopefully there will be a minimal requirement for any printed pages, so that our students will not be disadvantaged in any way with not having those facilities. So Zoe, thanks for bringing that up. Any other thoughts, Zoe? Let's see. Can we unmute Zoe so in case she has anything else there? Are we good?
Absolutely.
that will be all.
Okay. Thank you so much, Zoe. I'm so glad you're on with us today. Thank you, honors students. You're amazing.
Julia has a question.
Hello, Julia.
Julia Stein, go ahead and ask your question, please. So she's typed, will there be a hybrid in-person class for international students, parentheses, athletes, in order for them to be allowed in the country?
Okay, so the good news is that we were able to get some assistance from our Congressman Kevin McCarthy, so that one unit in person was, again, we did not have to move forward with that requirement. They're being flexible with us. However, one of the things that we will have to realize is that for those new students coming to the country, they still will face some challenges having to go through those interviews. I'm going to turn it over to Provost because he really did a good job tracking on this. But I do also want to thank our congressman because he did speak directly to the president to get this changed. Provost, do you want to add anything to that or clarify if I did not say it correctly?
No, you've got it spot on, President Zelezny. We were fortunate that Kevin McCarthy worked for the benefit of all international students in the country across the public higher education sector. We track this very, very closely with Dean Novak in Extended Education and Global Outreach. And I just want to confirm with him whether there's any other details regarding the international students that were changed in the most recent actions by the federal government. I know he's on.
Now I'm unmuted. Thank you. We got some very good news yesterday that the Saudi Arabian ministry is going to allow students to come, and I think some of you may have seen this, without and be able to take online courses. This really changes their policy. And for us, and we have a number of Saudi students, this is excellent. I understand that the athletes will be able to have a credit course face-to-face, and so they will not face any disadvantage. And this has been an ongoing, moving phenomenon, and I think we're coming to a good resolution here. I think everybody's going to get what they need this term.
Thanks so much, Dean. And that actually does add, I think, to the more specific question for our scholar athletes. So I'm really happy scholar athletes look like they will be accommodated. So thank you for the excellent question. How about other questions?
Clarice has a question. Go ahead, Clarice.
Hello.
Oh, Clarice, I miss you so much.
I miss you too.
How are things going for you?
Things are going really well. I'm starting to prepare diligently for the upcoming semester. Thankfully, the nursing program has been working really hard to make sure that we're able to complete on time.
Well, I really miss seeing your bright smile in the president's office, and I know it's going to be a rock star semester for you as you finish off your nursing degree. So happy to have a question from you.
Thank you. So fortunately, I have some family members that are interested in applying to CSUB, and typically that process is facilitated in person. I remember when I was in high school, CSUB sent a representative to help with the application process, and I was wondering how CSUB is going to help facilitate the application process now that we're online, especially since the application period is going to be opening in October.
Really good question. And I'm going to have to get an expert online here. Let's see, Provost or Dr. Wallace or whoever wants to pitch in while you're thinking about answering that question for Clarice. I do want to let you know our caravan, which is also part of that outreach to get people engaged and get that early application support. We're actually moving forward, not with a face-to-face caravan, but making sure we take out resources and fun educational things to get students excited about coming to CSUB. With that, who would like to answer the question about support for those applications and outreach?
That would be Dr. Cantrell, so should be the best person to answer that.
Thank you, Dr. Cantrell. Appreciate it.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. And hi, Clarice. Nice to see you.
Hello.
So we will have virtual support that will take place. Actually, the application for spring 2021 is open right now as we speak for upper division transfer students. And so as students have need, we have outreach services that will communicate with them. Admissions folks are helping as well. So we have a lot of efforts to help students out in the community. So in the fall, as our outreach team would normally go out, now they're going out virtually. So they're connecting with the career centers, college counselors at the various high schools throughout our service area, and they'll be offering virtual opportunities to connect. For transfer students, we have our transfer efforts through our transfer coordination with various community colleges that will do the same thing. So we're doing lots of partnering online. And if you have anyone who needs assistance, who feels like they might be out there and still needing more, you can have them contact me, and I will put my email address in the box for you. Does that help?
Thank you so much, Dr. Cantrell. I appreciate your leadership. Clarice, did we cover your question and have a resource for you?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thanks again for brightening my day. It's great to see your smile.
It's great to see you too.
Thank you.
McKenna has a question. Go ahead, McKenna.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, yeah. McKenna. Okay. Thank you.
My question was, will we be receiving information about our classes? I haven't received anything like, do we have Zoom meetings with some of our professors, or when will we be receiving information like that?
That's super important. So Provost, can you help McKenna out here?
Sure. I have a communication out to all of the faculty to encourage them. It's actually sitting on my desktop to encourage them to reach out to their students beginning this week and next. So you should be hearing something very, very shortly. All of the departments and all of the faculty are just gearing up, finishing their syllabi. Whether you have a fully online class or you have one that has synchronous meetings, your faculty member will be reaching out to you to tell you exactly how many of those synchronous meetings will be you'll be taking place. But I do want to reiterate that if you were to go in and look at your class schedule, and if you have times for your class, so they'll be right next to your class description. Those will be the times in which you will synchronously, using Zoom, be able to have class. If you have no times, that means you have a fully online class that'll simply use either Canvas or Blackboard to deliver the class. So those are a couple of things that you can do to make sure, but all of the faculty are going to start reaching out to their students over the next couple of days to let them know about the times which they might have synchronous classes.
Okay, perfect. I have one more question. Sorry.
Not at all.
So if you're on a wait list, I'm on a wait list for human anatomy, but I was put in other classes just in case I don't get in. What should I do as far as like what I do in that class? So do I join anything for anatomy, or do I just wait until I actually get into the class?
There's a little bit of that that's dependent on each department. You certainly want to talk to your respective advisor because the wait lists operate a little bit differently in certain departments. However, it's a very, very timely question. We have lots of faculty and department chairs on the line today. And we just yesterday, we opened up a new module for all of the department chairs to be able to see not just the status of their wait lists, but how many students are actually sitting on their wait list as it relates to the overall enrollment in the class. So that's very, very important. Had a couple of conversations with the deans over the last couple of days about making sure we're opening enough sections to make sure that those wait lists get taken down.
Okay, thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Yeah, I really love how I can feel your energy and ready to go spirit. So
I'm ready.
I love it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. And good luck with getting into that class that you need in anatomy.
Oh, thank you so much.
Rosa Vella has a question. Let me unmute. Please go ahead.
So how do we receive like our textbooks for upcoming classes? Do we have to like go to CSUB, or we just have to order?
Yeah, really
online?
good question. Is there someone on from the bookstore or someone that can answer that through academic affairs? Or I know our Vice President of Business and Administration is coming on here shortly. Is there anyone that can answer that question about the textbooks?
I don't see anyone on from the bookstore.
Tom Davis is just now coming on. Tom, I don't know if you're able to answer this question. If not, we're going to hold on to it until we can see if we can reach out to someone to answer that question.
I think, was the question regarding securing books from the bookstore?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Could you help us?
Yeah, there should be an online mechanism for securing books, and also the bookstore will be open and has its hours posted. Obviously, they're allowing limited access at a time, but I'll be sure and make sure that our team gets that information out to the campus community on the bookstore and securing the books.
So it looks like you have a couple of options. Did we answer your question? Do you need any more information, Roosevelt?
It's okay. It's just my first year, so I just want to get to know things a bit.
Yes.
Right.
Welcome. We're happy to support and assist you. So there's a little information from Ilaria Pesco, who oversees our student success on campus, and she's given you the information about the hours it's open. And if anyone else has any resources to put in the chat for Roosevelt, we're so happy she's coming to CSUB to be one of our family. Let's make sure she has everything that she needs to get those books.
So Roosevelt, if you go into your My CSUB and you go into your classes, your faculty will have put in there what books you need. You can order them through the bookstore. They can be either shipped to your house, or you can pick them up right here on campus, or you can use that book list to also then go on Amazon or any other places that you decide. But the bookstore also has really competitive prices, so oftentimes they match the price that you might find on Chegg or on Amazon. So that's something our students often use. So I would definitely say that would be the first step, to start to look for your books.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. We're happy to have you as part of CSUB, Roosevelt.
Tony has a follow-up question to this.
Thank you, Tony.
Tony. Please go ahead, Tony. So Tony asks, how do you purchase books if you are using veteran benefits and vocational rehabilitation?
Oh, very good question. Let's see. Is Dr. Quarles on, or anyone from Veteran Services, Jamie Pacheco? If not, we'll put some resources in the chat. Anyone who can give us some updates about using veteran support? All right. What we're going to do is we want to connect you with Jamie Pacheco. And if Chief of Staff Michael Lukens, will you put Jamie's contact information in the chat? And we'll make sure also that we try to address this question.
Sure will.
Thank you very much.
Sydney Barrera has a question. Go ahead, Sydney.
Hello.
Hi,
So due to the COVID-19, I'm currently stuck here in the Philippines, and it will be hard for me to go to school if ever campus does reopen, and I would also be having a hard time ordering my books and stuff. How can the school accommodate me if, in case school does open, they still be able to accommodate me through my classes?
Okay, well, those are a couple of questions. Let's first talk about this semester, when you probably have all of your classes virtual. Is that true, Sydney?
Yes.
Okay, so that part's good. And then also getting your books. I mean, you're not limited to getting your books through the bookstore. Ilaria, do you want to, again, maybe give us some strategies for Sydney, who's in the Philippines?
Sydney, you can, if you go on Amazon, you can rent your book digitally from them. And they have, and you also, before you go on, I would encourage you to go on the library's website first to see if there is a digital book already free for your class through the library's website. So that would be the first thing to do. The second thing would be to go to Amazon or Chegg and see about having an ebook for your classes, because most of the books available now for classes also have an ebook edition, so you don't actually have to have a physical book. And I can put both of those informations for those websites in the chat as well. But like I said, I would first go to the CSUB website, to the library first, to see if your classes happen to have a free digital book already.
Okay, so does that cover you for the fall semester, Sydney? Any other support you might need since you're in the Philippines?
No, I think that's okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Sydney. I'm so glad you joined us today. How about others? I see we've got resources for the question on veterans benefits with Jamie. And please do reach out to her. She's a phenomenal leader for our veterans here on campus. Other questions?
None at this time.
Okay. We will wait just a moment here. And again, students, this is your time. So you have priority in asking anything that is on your mind or anything we can do to support you. We want to make sure we're connecting with you. So important to do so right now. For those of you that are brand new to CSUB, we are so happy to have you as part of our CSUB family. Welcome, all of you new runners. And our faculty and staff are very excited and getting prepared to give you a fantastic first start. And while we're at it, Ilaria, since we want to make sure students are really engaged, maybe you could say something about student programming really quickly, and then maybe if Dr. Wallace doesn't mind, talk about if you're a freshman coming in, important to get that 3.0 GPA to get an opportunity to be a sensational sophomore, which I know Zoe was, Clarice was, who just asked some questions. So important things to know about. Ilaria, any hints you would have for getting engaged in clubs, programming, leadership?
Absolutely. So we are going to be having a virtual club fair, which is going to be on September the 5th. And so you should, everyone should definitely be looking at their CSUB email. So first off, the VPSA office, it'll come, and emails come from them, and it'll be under org VPSA, and that's for Dr. Wallace's office. And folks will send out emails about tons of opportunities on engaging programs. So it'll be through there. I would also encourage you to follow ASI and campus programming and CSUB on social media, because again, we're posting lots of things about events that are going on. The SRC is holding virtual classes. We have tons of programmings for Week of Welcome, and we'll have virtual programmings throughout the year. So, and you should be looking, campus programming is going to be coordinating a calendar that's going to be going out weekly to students so that folks will be able to see all the things that they can do.
Thank you so much, Ilaria. Thanks for your leadership and plenty of things to keep you engaged and involved, because that's the fun part of coming to university, is having those opportunities. Dr. Wallace, I know you were on with us earlier, and if anyone would like to say how important it is to get that 3.0 as a freshman for that opportunity to be a sensational sophomore, anybody like to talk about that?
I would love to talk about that. Letters actually have gone out to 530 sophomores being invited to participate in our Sensational Sophomore Leadership Program. It is the largest number in the history of our university that are eligible to participate in Sensational Sophomores. And as I look at the screen, there are several Sensational Sophomores that are on the screen, and I would like for them to please talk about their experience or experiences in being sensational sophomores.
Thank you. Will all the sensational sophomores please rise? Share what you loved about being a sensational sophomore.
Hi. So I was a sensational sophomore, and I am now a junior year experience member. I'm also the vice president of Sensational Sophomores class of 2022. And my experience was amazing. I was able to work on my networking skills, and I definitely got to meet the staff of our university. So there are a lot of opportunities and growing experiences. I was also able to be involved in my community more. So I would say that it's a good program.
So go for it. Zoe, thank you. Would anyone else like to speak about sensational sophomores?
Uchechi has her hand up.
Please.
Hello. Yes, I was a sensational sophomore, and like Zoe said, we're going to be a junior. I'm going to be a junior experience member as well, and I am the president of our sensational sophomore class of 2022. And honestly, it's been an experience that has taught me a lot and exposed me to different campus administrators and different experiences that I never thought I would be able to do. So I'm very grateful and really fortunate to be working really close to Emily and Mike, and especially Dr. Wallace, who has been a great mentor in the program. So I'm excited for what our class has to do for this upcoming year, because we've been having meetings and planning for the upcoming semester, especially now that we're online. So we're trying to kind of transcend the virtual world and make it more interactive with our class. So I'm excited. So if any of the freshmen on here, I encourage you to work really hard your freshman year, and any sophomores that are part of the program or got invited, congratulations. I'm excited for you, and I can't wait for your orientation. So yes.
Buchechi, thank you so much, and thank you to Zoe as well. I tell you what, I want to go back in my life and be a sensational sophomore. I would have worked really, really hard, much harder probably than I did in my freshman year when I was at Humboldt State, so I could have had that opportunity. So, and you see the amazing people that are part of it. So those of you that were invited. Oh boy, I cannot wait to have our year together. And indeed, for those of you that are coming in as new freshmen, go for it. That is such an amazing opportunity. I see Roosevelt has her hand up.
Yep. Go ahead, Roosevelt, please.
I forgot to ask the question about like paying tuition. When my mother is about to pay tuition, she said that I have about like financial penny. I have to pay like somewhere like 200, but how come once like we pay it, it says like I have to pay 3,000 something. I was like, I'm confused. So is it like 200 or 3,000? Because I have financial aid from FOTSA.
Okay, so yeah, that sounds very confusing. I would be confused too. Is Chad on from financial aid, or anyone from financial aid that can at least put a link in for Roosevelt to follow up on her question related to her financial aid? Anybody from financial aid here today? Dr. Cantrell, do you want to maybe put something in the chat for Roosevelt to reach out to Chad? This sounds like an offline specific situation, but we're here to support you, Roosevelt. So Dr. Cantrell, if you do that for us. And
yes. What I'll do is, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Please go ahead.
No, what I'll do is I'll connect you. I'll give you my email so I can see exactly what it is you need and whether I need to connect you to financial aid or financial services.
Okay.
In terms of handling your bill. So I'll connect you to me if that's okay.
That's more than okay. Thank you very much to our amazing Associate Vice President. So it sounds like, Roosevelt, you're going to get the support you need to get that straightened out, and we're here for you. Anything else, Roosevelt?
I think that's all.
Fantastic. Okay. We'll help you.
Clarice has a question.
Hi, Clarice again.
I have a question related to financial aid. So I actually talked to Christy from the financial aid office, and she made an interesting point saying that for the fall semester only, they will not be dropping students who have a balance to give because of COVID. I was wondering how long that grace period would be, because I do have like the middle class scholarship that comes in after Census Day, and I was wondering what that would look like that time period. So I know we need to pay for tuition.
Yep, that's really great. So yeah, we want to make sure that students just, are not unnecessarily worried about this, especially during the COVID time. Dr. Cantrell, I don't know if you know those deadlines, or if again, we can connect Clarice to verify that she'll be in good shape, which I know she will be, to get those scholarships.
Yes, Clarice. So in the chat, I see that the number to financial services is there, so you can get the exact detail on the date there. But yes, all holds have been lifted. so that students won't have any impact on getting into their classes. So there are no financial holds that will be there for the fall, but they will go back on for spring enrollment. So you have to make sure you catch that window. So you'll be okay for your fall classes. So you can get the date from financial services. And if you have any other questions, you can let me know.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Grace. That's an important question. Who else has a question? Students, it's still your time. You are our priority, and happy to connect you with the support we have here and make sure that you are feeling ready to go for fall. It's going to actually be an amazing year. I know that we have challenges, but runners are really resilient. And look at the team we have here, right? That are here supporting you. So we want to make sure you have a great start. I'm really big on great starts. So we want to do everything we possibly can to make sure that you have that great start. Any other questions? Faust, what are you seeing?
Ucheche has a question. Let me unmute her.
Yes, Ucheche.
I know there's been some transition towards Canvas. I wanted to find out will majority of our classes or all of our classes be on Canvas this semester, or are there some faculty using Blackboard as well?
So I think there is some diversity, but Faust, Chief Information Officer, I bet you have the details on that.
Thank you, President. So over these next 2 terms, our faculty will be transitioning, or those faculty who are on Blackboard will be transitioning over to Canvas. Okay. So by next fall, all classes will be in Canvas, but for this fall and spring, there still may be a mix between the 2 systems, between Blackboard and Canvas.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
It's kind of fascinating to me. I mean, what an amazing thing for students to get to learn how to use these different technologies, because in my mind, this will do nothing but bring value to your profession. So even though, it might seem that you're learning, different learning management systems, it makes you flexible. And again, it gives you those extra skills. So I do want to commend the faculty. They've been absolutely extraordinary. In fact, during our university day and during this time now, they are behind the scenes getting their professional development to make sure those are really well organized and coordinated for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Marlene has a question.
Please.
Hi, President Zelezny.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. You mentioned the resilient runners,
yes.
And that reminded me that we had the opportunity earlier in the late spring, early summer to order the shirt.
Yes.
And I just wondered if anybody knows when those will be available.
Oh boy, that's a good question. Dr. Wallace, tell us about ordering the shirt.
Actually, I'm going to let Ilaria or Janet Millar want to talk about the shirt.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
So the shirt will be in the next week and a half. And so once they're in, we'll be sending out an email to do a pickup similar to how we do the food distribution so folks can come to campus. We'll also coordinate that with an all-campus food drive for the food pantry so folks can bring some food if they wish. But we'll do that similar to the fashion of how we do food distributions.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Marlene, for those of you who and the other students that are on there don't know much about the shirt, it was started about 3 years ago, I think, Dr. Wallace, or 4 maybe. This is our 4th shirt, 3rd or 4th shirt, with the intention of including students and other groups to make decisions about the design of the shirt, with its primary proceeds going to support student emergency fund or the emergency food or the food pantries. So each year we've been able to sell a number of shirts. We went, I think this year from 600 to a couple thousand. So yay us, we're growing. And Ilaria, I'm not sure, can people still order after once school started? I can't remember how we decided that. Through
We will have some limited shirts available, and so an email will go out to campus to let folks know the sizes and if they'd like to purchase a shirt.
And please, if you're to keep your eyes open for, especially for next year, early on to get you'll get in on a shirt and contribute to our students' basic needs priorities.
Thanks so much to Janet, Ilaria, and Dr. Wallace. We love the shirt. It's so much fun.
The thing, President Zelezny, the thing I love about it is I'm an alum and a staff member, and it just, when everybody's wearing them, it unites everybody on campus, no matter what your position, whether you're incoming freshman or somebody that's worked there for many years. It just, I don't know, it's fun to have that continuity, the visual continuity.
Absolutely. We are Runners United. Thanks so much. Other questions? Spouse, what do we see in our chat?
Josefina, please go ahead.
Hi, I would like to thank everyone for hosting this runner walk and talk. My question is, what forms of support services will be available to graduate students this fall term?
Very good question. Provost, tell us about graduate student support.
Well, I think the best person to respond to that is Dr. Jackson, who oversees graduate studies.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson.
I do not see Dr. Jackson.
Deborah must not be on the line. We're going to provide a considerable amount of support to graduate students. Please just put your email address in the chat, and we'll make sure that Dr. Jackson reaches out to you directly.
There you go. You get a personal touch. And also, likewise, Provost, would you put Dr. Jackson's contact information in the chat for other graduate students that might have that need? Congratulations, Josefina. We're really proud to have you in the graduate school here at CSUB.
Mariah has a question. Go ahead, Mariah.
Hello.
Hello.
I just wanted to ask if Canvas and Blackboard will be the only two systems that we're going to use for classes.
Yeah, really good question. Let our Chief Information Officer add to that, and maybe the Provost, if you have anything else you'd like to share. Good question.
This is by far a really big question. What I will say is our two main learning management systems are Canvas and Blackboard. There is one that's used by the computer science department. So if you are a computer science student, you may also use that learning management system. But remember, Zoom is a huge tool that we're all using today to communicate with one another and conduct our classes. So that's another tool that you should have, and also access to Outlook email. However you're getting your campus email, but Outlook is a primary tool as well for communication and coordination. And then there's also a whole wealth of other tools that each faculty member will probably ask you to use, whether that's software available from the virtual computer lab, like SPSS and MATLAB, or other tools, which they may ask you to use. So please, communicate with your faculty, look at your syllabus. Those are all very important parts of the student experience.
Thank you.
Really good question, Mariah. Provost, anything you want to add to Mariah's question?
Yes, we also the two platforms, Canvas and Blackboard, but we also consider Zoom to be a platform. So that's also an important one to consider. That's going to be used to deliver instruction.
Great question, Mariah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Zelezny, this is Janet. I'd like to step back a second to Josefina's questions and comments. Josefina, I'm the counselor for the Student Counseling Center on campus, and we, along with a variety of other resources, will be presenting at a virtual graduate student orientation next Tuesday afternoon. I'd watch your email for the Zoom invite and connections to those. And usually you get a chance to meet with administrators, other faculty, some faculty, as well as some of the other resources, counseling, services for students with disability, career center, those kind of things will be all there. And we really look forward to meeting you in that process as well.
Thank you, Janet, and
you're welcome.
Thank you to Ilaria. She's got some additional information on that in the chat. So again, so proud of our graduate students. Other questions, students?
President, Adriana has a question that's in regards for students. Let me unmute her.
Thank
Go ahead,
you.
Adriana.
Hi, Adriana.
There.
Hello.
Thank you for taking this question. So, and this is actually a question from our partners at the university. Some of us as faculty work with our partners and our extended partners in districts. The question that came up recently was in regards to illness related, if there is any insurance for our students. So for example, our district partners were asking, does the university have health insurance for students that might have a COVID related or just general illness? And so I came previously from Fresno State, so I'm not as familiar with the policies. And so it was just a general question.
Thank you, Adriana. That's a really good question. I don't know if Erica Delmar or others from the health center would want to answer that question, or if we could put a resource in the chat. Is anyone from the health center? I know Erica is doing double duty for us.
Erica is not on right now, President.
Okay. Anyone else want to give any wisdom on the health insurance? Otherwise, we will put a resource in the chat for you, Adriana. And so I thank you for putting that on my radar about partnering on that. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Other questions?
None at this time.
All right. I wanted to give just a moment more. Again, students, you are the priority here for our Runner Walk and Talk. We've had a Runner Walk and Talk every single month. For those of you that are new to university, usually we do this in person, students, faculty, staff, but it's mostly students. I like to get out and walk around campus. And so that's how this started, is that I would just share it with folks when I was going to be out walking around, and anyone could have access to me and the cabinet members who could join me. And we got to like it so much that students asked me to make sure we had it throughout summer, even though it's virtual. And we'll have it every single month as we go into our academic year. So we do vary the times. It's never on the same day or at the same time. So respectful of people in their classes. We do record it as well to be helpful to students. So this is your access time to me and also to other administrators and leaders across campus. What else might we help you with or support you on today?
Danielle Velling has a question.
Danielle, thank you.
I was not expecting this real quick. Let me see. There we go. I was just saying, so this is going to be happening again next month and proceeding throughout the year. Is it just mainly a summer?
No. Yeah, we have Runner Walk and Talk every single month. And again, the goal is for students to have access. Sometimes you might have just something on that you need to talk with me about immediately. I love it that students put ideas on my radar because we move forward on those student ideas. But Runner Walk and Talk is every single month, and it's sponsored through the president's office. So yeah, so we welcome you anytime you can join us.
Awesome.
Thank you. Love your kitty, Danielle. Love your kitty. Precious. Well, I know
little new baby.
Precious, just a doll. I want to make sure that we have just but a few minutes. There are faculty and staff on. Staff, let me open it up here the last few minutes. Of course, we're going to have time together at University Day, and also I'll be joining the general faculty meeting here in about a week. So looking forward to that time always. But if there's anything I can address now, be happy to open the floor to everyone on the line. No
new questions coming in yet.
Okay, so Well, I have a question, Danielle. What is your darling kitty's name? That is the precious baby.
His name is Lava Rock. Like he was, we found him outside in the hot heat. So
he
like
is a lava rock. He is darling. Thank you, Danielle. You put a big smile on my face for the rest of the afternoon. I really appreciate that.
Maybe I'll change the next photo for the next one.
It's precious.
Thank you.
Let me again ask if anyone has any last questions as we go into fall for our academic year and celebrate our 50th anniversary.
Jeanette has a question.
Thank you, Jeanette.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thanks in Antelope Valley.
Thank you. It's so good to see everyone.
Great to see you.
Thank you. I was just wondering, I did see the invitation and put it on my calendar for University Day next Thursday. Yes. And maybe I've missed something, but will there be, I think you said there would be other staff activities also. Where would I get notifications of those?
So let me ask the provost, whose office has been putting together University Day. Is there a website, a link, or a place where Jeanette can go find more information?
I believe the invitation, which describes the calendar of events, went out earlier today, if I'm not mistaken. However, you can come directly to the Provost's website and get information about University Day.
Okay, yeah, I did see University Day and I put it on my calendar. Maybe I'll have to take a closer look at that one. So
yeah,
thank you.
There's an invite with an attachment, and we worked really hard on the brochure, and it has the day-by-day schedule for all of the events during University Day, including the staff professional development forum.
Okay, I will take another look. Thank you.
Definitely want you part of that. So Jeanette, thank you, and we always send our love to our Antelope Valley sister campus. So thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Well, team, we are just about at time. Is there any last minute question, concern, or thought you'd like to share? I'm so pleased by the number of students that have participated today and your excellent questions. It really makes me proud, and it really makes me excited to, again, be with you as we begin this academic year. And it is very, very important that I share with you how impressed I am with your questions. Any last minute ones?
Not a question, but I have an announcement.
Please, Dr. Wallace.
The new Student Convocation Committee has been working extremely hard to provide a new student convocation for our new students. And so you'll see those postings on social media, but also at campus programming website and our new student orientation websites. But Saturday and Sunday, August 22nd and 23rd, with the ceremony itself being on that Sunday, the 23rd at 2 p.m. And again, we want to make sure that our new students have a positive experience, and the committee has worked extremely hard in doing so.
Thank you, Dr. Wallace. That is one of our most important events as we start the year, and one that you'll be inspired by. So do join us as you come to be part of the CSUB family. I do want to let you also know that tomorrow we have our community conversation at 11 o'clock. This is co-hosted by our Associated Students, Inc., the leadership team from ASI, and also co-hosted by the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And you will hear tomorrow on a topic that students brought to us related to DACA. So I encourage all of you to join us tomorrow for that community conversation at 11 o'clock. With that, let me thank you again. Here's to a great new academic year. And again, please stay healthy and strong as resilient runners. And here's to runners up. Bye, everyone.